Vision IB, where physics becomes clarity.
So, hello, my dear students. Hope you are all doing well. So, this is our fourth lecture on quantum physics, and in this quantum physics lecture, we are generally dealing with the numericals. So, let's have a look here at one interesting numericals. So, we have two photon. There is one photon A and photon B of wavelength lambda A and lambda B. They undergo a Crompton effect scattering where lambda A is equals to 2 times lambda B. The photon A is scattered at an angle of 180 degree while the photon B is scattered at the angle of 90 degree. So we have four options here. So which of the following will give you the ratio of shifts in wavelength, right? So the ratio is delta lambda A by delta lambda B. So we have to find the value of lambda A, lambda B, and then we can find the ratio of shift in the wavelength. So first of all, keep in mind that before solving Crompton effect numericals, before solving any numerical on Crompton effect, just keep in mind you don't have to consider light as light or the photon as a wave. You have to consider it as a particle. So let's draw a bit of small diagram so that will help you understand this numerical clearly. So we have this electron here, and suppose a wavelength, a light of wavelength or a photon is incident, that is represented by lambda I, is incident on this electron, and after this photon hits the electron, and always keep in mind the collision here is an elastic collision, not inelastic, it's an elastic collision, right? So this electron will deflect in this case. So this electron will deflect in this case to the certain position, right? So now if we look at the diagram carefully, this is the deflected path of the electron. This is the photon that deflects after the collision with an electron, which is represented by lambda f. So this is the final wavelength, this is the initial wavelength, and from this line we can find out the scattering angle. So it is already given that scattering angle where uh, scattering angle is scattered at an angle of 180 degree and 90 degree. So scattering angle of 180 degree and 90 degree is already given here, which is represented by the relation that says lambda A is equals to 2 times lambda B, right? So this is the scattering angle. So this is the diagram. Hope you understand the diagram. Now the equation that we are going to use for this is delta lambda is equals to h upon mc 1 minus cos theta. So I will explain you all this, what is delta lambda, what is h, what is me, and what is c, what is 1 minus cos theta. So I'll explain you everything. So just see, this delta lambda is change in wavelength. This h, as you are already aware, it is a Planck's constant. What is this me? This me is mass of electron. So all this Planck's constant, mass of electron, you can find it in your data booklet. And where c is the speed of light, and this theta here specifically is scattering angle. So now we know the diagram, we have the equation. Let's solve this numerical. And so here we have delta lambda is equals to h upon mass of electrons times the speed of light 1 minus cos theta. So we know that first we will solve for lambda a. So for lambda a, theta is 180 degree. And if you can check in your calculator, cos 180 degree will be -1, right? So now let's just plug this value of cos 180 and let's just solve this equation. So delta lambda a, we are representing delta lambda a for particle a, right? So don't get confused. So this is the Planck's constant, this is the mass of electron, this is the speed of light, 1 minus of -1. So if I write it further, you can just write it as h by mass of electron times speed of light times 2, right? So now we have this equation. So this was for lambda a. Now let's find out for uh, lambda b. So delta lambda b is given by again h by mass of electrons times speed of light 1 minus cos theta. Again we know that theta here is 90 degrees. So let's plug in the values and let's see what we get. So h by mass of electrons times speed of light 1 minus cos 90 degree. So as you are aware that cos 90 is 0. Cos 90 is 0. So we get straight away, we get this equation as h by mass of electron times the speed of light. Now see, we have just to take the ratio of the wavelengths of the particles. So just take the wavelength of the particle. So for particle A, lambda A is 2h by mass of electrons times speed of light divided by h by mass of electrons times speed of light. So if we solve this, this mass of electron times speed of light gets cancelled, this h also gets cancelled, so we are just left with 2. So the ratio of delta lambda a by delta lambda b is 2. So the correct answer here is 2. Uh, so tell me in the comments how was this numerical and if you liked it or not, and was it conceptual or not. Okay, so welcome to the second numerical. So this numerical is relatively easy, but I think there is a need to cover some theory part in this. So I'll briefly explain you this and I hope you will understand it well. So we can see there are 3 experiments are listed here. First one is photoelectric effect. Second one is Devson and Germer experiment. Third one is Young's double slit experiment. Now we have to determine which experiment showed the existence of wave behavior of matter, like matter behave as a wave was proved by which experiment. So you have the options here. So first I'll briefly explain the significance of each experiment. So if you look at the first experiment, that was photoelectric effect. So photoelectric effect was very successful in explaining the particle behavior of light. Particle behavior of light, all thanks to Albert Einstein. So Einstein was the one who proved the particle behavior of light, properly explaining the photoelectric effect. Now look at the Young's double slit experiment. So double slit experiment was very successful in predicting the wave behavior of light. Now I'm not going to explain you all the experimental details. So Young's double slit experiment was helpful in explaining the wave behavior of light. Now let's look at the Devson and Germer experiment. So the Devson and Germer experiment, electrons were scattered from atoms and this scattered electron produced an interference pattern just like waves. So like electrons can be considered as a matter to at the very smallest scale. So these electrons started behaving as a wave in a Davidson and Germer experiment, which they were successfully able to uh, prove. So here we can see the options. 1 and 3 is not an option, as both does not prove wave behavior of matter. Second, 1 and 3 only also does not prove. Third, we have 1, 2 and 3 only. So the Young's double slit, the Davison and Germer experiment surely proved the wave behavior of matter, but 1 and 3 were not the part of it. The experiment 1 and experiment number 2 were not the part of it. So we are only left with only one equation, one option, that is option A, which says Davison and Germer experiment successfully prove the wave the wave behavior of matter. So hope you got the clear understanding of this question what I was trying to say. So I'll keep posting more videos. Stay tuned for latest content. Thank you.
If this helped you understand physics better, like the video,